Kanto Gakuen University in
yeah.
Yokohama. So the population of the students was like so dense into one little campus. And so there was just always a bunch of students just everywhere. And one thing that surprised me, mostly everyone, was the lines for the elevators.
Oh yes.
That was such a big weird factor for us. We're like, why are people waiting in line for the elevator? And the line would go all the way out the door. It was
the first thing I was surprised was when I was on the airplane and was seeing how Oregon is, and I saw it was all brown, and I was really surprised. But after I came here, I saw all the green, and the campus was really beautiful. And every time I walk, everyone we have face-to-face conversation and say hi. And in Japan, we don't really say hi to strangers, even with students. So it was really interesting for me, and I really like that.
Oh, that's good.
What I like the most is that it's because this university, this college is kind of small. They have school events every week, and we really don't have that in Japan. Or maybe they do, but not many students participate in that event. So I really don't get bored in this school, and that's what I think it's interesting and fun.
My favorite activity was probably just traveling around Japan. That I got to go to Hokkaido, I got to visit Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo, just all these big touristy places. Along with, I also got to visit Iwate Prefecture and Tochigi. And that was amazing. Okay. So that was my favorite thing, is traveling. I lived in a dorm, it was, I guess, 10-minute walking away from our university. And it was a really, really nice dorm, but it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. Other than that, I did live with a host family for a month, and that was a good 15-minute train ride from our university. But they were very, very nice houses and dorms, so it was just amazing.
When I was in Japan, I used to use the train for about 2 hours to go to school. Yes, and I was really tired all the time. But here, I live in an apartment with my roommates, and it's super close. Yeah. And I was really worried about how I could get along with them, because I've never lived besides my family, and living here with 4 people and having different culture was really a little bit scary, but they were really super nice, and yes, it's good. It's fun living with them. I just like pizza because
Does it?
everywhere I go, it really tastes good, and I can eat pizza almost every day. I don't get yeah, it's really good, and I think it's different because from Japan, because in Japan we put a lot of vegetables on tops, and in here we just have simple cheese or pepperonis, and I just like the simple kind. It's really good.
My favorite food has got to be gyoza.
Oh, okay, I love them.
I love gyoza. My second one that I discovered was a month before I came back was shabu shabu. I love shabu shabu so much. My favorite class was a Japanese culture and society class, which was taught by a teacher that was from the US, but she's been living in Japan for a very long time. So she was very fluent in Japanese, and she knew a lot, and essentially. We got to go on a lot of trips with her, and she was just so amazing. And what I loved about it is that she would give us an insider's look of Japan from an outside perspective. She had both those qualities within her that made it seem I learned a lot from that class. Just It was really fun.
Last semester, I took the education class, becoming an early young childhood teacher. And in that class, they were mostly girls, and we had a lot of active lessons. We discussed a lot. We wrote on papers. We made jello? Snow. Slimes. And it was really fun. And what I liked was everyone was like talking in class. Everyone was really aggressive, like really active in class. And we were able to learn and discuss, and it was kind of really different from what we have in Japan, because it's usually the teacher just talks and the students just listen and write notes. But in here, we kind of like talk and discuss and learn. So I think I like that.
What was actually interesting for me, people sometimes thought I was Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah, in most tourist areas, because I would be hanging out with a lot of Japanese people, and I was the only one, I don't know, and they just thought I was part of the crowd, and they would speak to me immediately in Japanese and like treat me like the rest. But when I was hanging out with, let's say, another girl that I was studying abroad with, she didn't look like me, or that she had whiter skin. They would immediately try to speak to her in English, and I'll give her the chance to try Japanese, which I was like, okay, I thought, I don't know, maybe if she was in Japan, they could have tried to know how to Japanese, but it was an interesting thing to see.
Maybe that's because I don't know, but if Japanese people see people from foreign people, they want to use English, or they feel that like they need to speak English. Because Japanese is kind of a hard language to study, and not much foreigners are good with Japanese. So maybe,
yeah, that was just an interesting thing to really see.